dogs. If you are a stranger and you never see my face, please do not switch this. I mean, if you're family or you're a friend, I just want to say thank you. Thank you. So I've been wanting to start this podcast for a little bit now, but I've just been kind of scared and overthinking it. But for this past week, someone's just been telling me, just do it. And the crazy thing is that I had to go get my notebook inside my Bible. In the front of my Bible cover, it has Joshua 1:9. And it says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." And it hit me. It hit me hard because it's like God was just telling me, don't be scared. Just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and do it. I recently watched the Pivot podcast with Jay Shetty, and he said this mantra, and it said, "This only makes the story better." He goes on to say that whenever you fail or whenever things are going good in your life, you just have to tell yourself, this only makes the story better. And it kind of made me think of something that I had to learn while I was growing up, and it was that pain is pain, and everyone has their own story. I don't care if you're a homeless person charging their phone, using the Wi-Fi at McDonald's, or if you're a successful business person, just hit me up and let's share your story. But anyways, enough of that. Let's get to what y'all really came here for. UFC, Kansas City. Tomorrow. Today's Friday. It's Friday night. So when this comes out, it's going to be Saturday. But anyways, tomorrow night, UFC Fight Night, Kansas City. Let's go, baby. The UFC matchmakers are doing their thing with this card, bro. So first off, to start off this main card, we got Ikram Aliskerov versus Jonathan Muniz. Jonathan Muniz came into the UFC hot. I'm talking about he was snatching up folks' arms left and right with 3 submissions, going 5-0 until he ran into Brandon Allen in 2023. And after that, it ain't really been like the same, you know. On the other hand, you got Ikram Aliskerov with an impressive pro MMA record of 15-2, with his only 2 losses coming against Hamza Chimaev, which was way before the UFC, and Robert Whitaker, which a fight that he took on, it was pretty short notice. It was including events that happened to be with Muniz. Y'all have to go look it up and figure it out. But yeah. Anyways, in my opinion, I just feel like Ikram Aliskerov's striking is gonna be 10 times better. And you know, he's not no chump on the ground. He's a Russian, you know, he's gonna have that wrestling in the background. So I just feel like he's gonna be able to get the job done. I don't know if it's gonna be a finish. Man, you know what? Ikram Aliskerov by a finish. Not sure what round, but low-key it's gonna happen. The next one, we got a pretty interesting fight in the welterweight division with Randy Rude Boy Brown and a 40-year-old dog, Nicholas Dalby. Both these dudes been in the UFC for a pretty good amount of time. This is actually Randy Brown's 20th fight in the UFC. Nicholas Dalby, he's been on a pretty good streak, with some even saying that he won his last fight against Fakardinov, which was an all-out brawl. I'm talking about blood everywhere. Randy Brown has some beautiful striking, and when he's focused and not trying to showboat or do any extra stuff, he's pretty good. He's pretty good in there. But I just feel like Nicholas Dalby might come in a little bit bigger. He's 40-year-old, you know, he's gonna have that grown man strength, that old man strength. And I just feel like he's gonna take Randy Brown a little bit, beat him up. I don't see him getting the finish, but I got Nicholas Dalby probably by the 6. This card just keeps getting better and better. The next fight we got is my pick for fight of the night. Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. Whoo, this one right here, folks. I'm telling you, you need to tune into this one right here. This is the one. This is the one. Anyways, Giga came into the UFC pretty hot, making dudes boobing himself with that left liver kick that he had. They was even calling that thing the liver kick, until he got humbled by that boy Calvin Kattar. And then since then, he's went 1-1. Got a little win over Alex Caceres, but I think he lost his last fight to Arnold Allen. Not I think, I know he lost his last fight to Arnold Allen. But shoot, with that striking that he got, he's a bad matchup for anybody on any given night. But that brings me to David Onama. This is my guy. He is an absolute dog. A dog in there. He has an impressive record of 4-1 in the UFC, with only losing that one fight, crazy fight to Nate Land, where I want to say it was about 2-3 years ago. But recently, he's been on a pretty good streak. He beat Jonathan Pierce, who really ain't no joke. And then, man, he had that crazy fight at UFC 309 with Roberto Romero. Anyways, this is going to be my thing. We got Big Dog MMA, you know what I'm saying? So this is going to be my thing for every week. We're going to have a Big Dog pick of the week. David Onama, you're my Big Dog pick of the week. Shout out that boy Braun Breaker. Give me David Onama. And then that brings us to the co-main event. Anthony Smith versus Yang Min Young. I don't really know too much about the Mountain Tiger. Other than he's on an 11 fight win streak with 2 KOs over some beasts, Brenson Romero and Osman Diaz. I'm talking about he took out Osman Diaz in his last fight in like 2 minutes with a little clean left hook right there. Took that boy out. As for Anthony Smith, it's the last go around for good old Lionheart. I want to say this is probably like his 60th pro MMA fight. That is crazy, dude. I think his record's like 38-21. I want to say it's 38-21. But anyways, this dude's been through the ringer, bro. I'm talking about he came to the UFC 2013. Guess it didn't really work out. Left the UFC, fought in like multiple organizations. Came back to UFC in 2016. Went on a freaking tear, going 7-3, beating guys like Rashad Evans, Shogun, and Volkan Ozdemir, who was a beast at the time. He then eventually would fight John Jones for the belt in 2019. Boy, y'all know how that went. I mean, he could have took the belt by DQ, to be honest with you. But anyways, Anthony Smith's going to have to try to use his experience, bro. He's going to have to try to stay on the outside, use his nice, beautiful jab that he has. But I just don't think Jean Mignon's going to have any of it. I think he's just going to go for it with his strikes. Excuse me if I messed up the name. Jean Mignon. All right? Jean Mignon. I just feel like he's going to go for it with the strikes. Just I don't want to say beat up Anthony. I don't want to be disrespectful. This is his last fight, man. He's just going to go for it. But, hey, maybe Anthony can take him down, make him tired, use his wrestling. But, to be honest, Anthony gas tank ain't really looked that good in his last few fights anyways. But he has been under some rather very different circumstances, to say the least. With all that being said, give me Zhang Mingyang, first round KO. That brings us to our main event of the night, folks. We got Ian Gary versus Carlos Prates. This one right here should be fireworks. Should be a striking masterclass. Both these dudes are up-and-coming superstars. Carlos Prates is 4-0 in the UFC with 4 KOs, including a mean KO in his last fight against Neil Magny, who Ian Gary leg kicked to death. And he's doing all this while taking shots and smoking cigs. I even saw a video today of, I think it was Chris Gutierrez, who's also fighting on this card. He took a video. It was Carlos Prates smoking a cigarette. Today, after weigh-ins, bro, that's crazy, man. Ian Gary, on the other hand, he's taking this fight on 25 days' notice, bro. This is just coming right after he took the fight with Shafkat on 21 days' notice. If you can't respect him for all the other stuff that people say about him and all the stuff that he runs his mouth about, you can at least respect him for the fighter that he is. He was 15-0 before running into Shafkat. He's been slowly working his way up since 2021. He's supposed to be the next big thing. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out Saturday night. Man, Carlos Prates got some nasty KO power and some clean combos. Left hand, left kick, whatever you want, he gonna give it to you. But I just feel like with Ian Gary's speed and his footwork, I think he's gonna be able to piece Carlos Prates up, to be honest with y'all. And all that dart smoking. If this thing goes into the 4th or 5th round, I can see Ian Gary getting the finish over Carlos Prates. So my pick for the main event of the night is Ian Gary. A few fights to look out for on the prelims. We got Malcolm Wellmaker making his UFC debut after he got this clean old step back, pow, left old dude in doggy position against a young game Kyron Saman, who's trying to get his mojo back after he got crucified by Peyton Talbot. And then we got the little guys, Matt Schnell, who's always in some type of crazy fight, taking on Jimmy Flick Brick. And then, shoot, since we're doing a little MMA, might as well give y'all a little MMA news. Everybody probably already heard, but I mean, I don't care. I can still, it's my channel, so I can share it too. So on Pat McAfee show earlier today, Dustin Poirier announced he will be fighting Max Holloway for the BMF title, his retirement fight in NOLA pay-per-view July 19th. And then I got an ESPN notification earlier. Kamaru Usman is going to be taking on Joaquin Buckley in Atlanta, June 14th. Be on the lookout, fellas. And I just want to touch on something that I said earlier, and I want to reference something that Pat McAfee always says. He says, tell a friend something nice that could change their life. And I just want to tell y'all that my sole purpose of this channel is not to just talk about the fights, but for people to leave here with something that could change their life. Because just a few words can change thousands of lives. If you're an up-and-coming fighter, an athlete, or even just a regular person that wants to share their story, no matter good or bad, hit me up. We can do an interview. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get your story out there. One day I'm gonna get my story out there. But I just want to encourage everyone just to tell your story. Because we all have these moments in our life, no matter how big or small, they leave a forever impact. Whether it's 5 seconds, 2 minutes, a couple hours, you're gonna remember it for the rest of your life. I just want to encourage everyone to not be fearful. Don't be scared to tell your story. A testimony is not a weakness. Your testimony is not a weakness. It could be the key that unlocks the door for many, many others. Maybe no one watches this video. Maybe one person. Maybe 2. Maybe 5. Hey, maybe 100. Like my grandma always used to say, words pack power. So hey, 100 people are gonna watch this video. But none of that matters. If I just reach the right person, then I know I did my job. Anyways, thank y'all for watching my first video. This is only just a little piece of what I want to do. I want to talk about the fights, but as you can see, you know, if you know me, you know I rock with my boys. So of course I want to talk about the Cowboys. I want to talk about the Rockets. I want to talk about other sports. But that's all down the road. So just please like, comment, subscribe, share. You know what they say, all the good stuff. I accept all forms of feedback, whether it be criticism, whatever. Thank you. Peace out. Yo! Y'all gotta do this.
Oh shit. Hey, y'all take that shit weird. You slow?